What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Ashley, and I'm back with my daily video. Y'all thought I was playing it. I said I'm gonna start like maybe writing down like video ideas and doing them, putting them on the schedule so I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. So I just won't have to come on here and freestyle. I want to have something planned and be a little bit more organized with the situation. That way I can do it. So tonight, while I'm in the bed, laying down, I'm going to put it on my planner and just come up with different video ideas and do them. And I'm going to go back to doing my videos in the morning before everybody even wake up. Because right now I'm hiding in my closet because there's nowhere else I can get any type of quietness. Anyway, I had something earlier that I wanted to talk about, but it wouldn't make sense for me not to talk about the Emmett Till series that's on ABC. Yes, I'm in the series. I'm an extra in the series, but my part doesn't come up until the Bryant family is forced out of the city, so to speak. They move out, and we're kind of like considered as local people in the town, and we're standing around them, looking at them in disgust. And that's the part that I play. I'm just an extra in the background, but you just never know what could come from that. But anyway, that was so hard to watch today, and they kind of just got straight to the point on the show. That was hard. That was just, it was hard to watch, even though it happened all the way back then. It's still, it's hard. It's hard to see any mother lose a child, but in a way that's so devastating, and that was done, and it's even harder, and and I'm in my head, I'm thinking like, dang, no cell phone, so she's having to sit by the phone, and wait hours for people to call her just to give her an update on her child. I just couldn't even imagine, because me, now I would have got on the first thing smoking, and we would have been in Mississippi, a whole gang of us, but they couldn't operate that way. It was a certain way they had to operate. So in my head, that's even harder watching that, knowing they couldn't really just move and maneuver like we do now. So that was even harder to see that. It was like, oh my gosh, why can't she just go down there? Why can't they do this? And you have to remember, this is back in 1955. Y'all, that was tough. That was so tough to watch. And I mean, I've used to hear about Emmett Till's story, but never really got in depth on what happened. When it's, I never went into detail. Nobody ever went into detail with me about what really happened, the whole scenario, of him, how everything went down. And it was, to me, one of the craziest part on the movie was when the sheriff insisted that they bury him without his mother even seeing his body. Like, that was crazy to me. Like, I don't know, the authority that white people had, the power that white people had back then, where they can just make up things as they went, and people had to just abide by it just for the sake of them staying alive. Because if you went against the grain or went against what they said, you become a target. And I instantly thought to myself, if I were living back then, I know for a fact I wouldn't be in the South. I would be up north. No way, the way I think now. But then I have to think about, I don't know how I would have been thinking back then. I don't know. But I think we're all born in our certain decades, centuries, or whatever for a reason. We're born at a certain time for a reason, because the mind that I have wouldn't have worked back then. You see what I'm saying? Just like now, you have these new babies being born already knowing how to operate technology, and they're kind of a little bit more advanced than we were. Just me being 36, they were more advanced. They're more advanced now than we were when we were babies. So I think God put all of us here with a certain mindset during a certain time for you to be able to operate, you know. But then you do have some people who were born back then that had mindsets like we have. You know, they just wasn't going. And they just knew that they had something in them, told them to fight for certain rights, you know, and do certain things. And it's just, y'all, it's just a lot, you know. Her watching when the body came back from the South, from Mississippi, and they brought his body on a train, and her seeing the box that they had the body in before she even seen him, and how she broke down, that just done it for me, you know. That done it for me. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God. I hate being reminded of how things were, but at the same time, I love history. But it's certain things in history it's hard for me to watch, and those are one of the things when we were treated horrible. And most of the time we were treated horrible, you know. So I hate hearing that part of history, but I know it's important, it's pertinent, you know. It's important for us to know, just to see where we came from. It's good to know where you came from, you know. So, but yeah, I'm just kind of rambling or whatever, because one thing about me, when I watch certain things or see certain things or hear certain things, I kind of get myself in a sunken place, and I just be like really deep in that thought of feeling it. And so after watching it, I'm kind of just now starting to come up out of that, in that little sunken place where I'm kind of just like, oh my God, you know, just I can't believe this. And I'm gonna tell y'all something that's so crazy. I was just telling my husband the scene, like I said, the scene that I play, well, because I'm just the extra in the background, and we're standing like around the store when Mr. Bryant and his wife left the city, and they, moved out because they were living in the store in the back. So they had packed up their bags and had put everything in the car. And we had to keep redoing that scene over and over, where he would call her name, and because she was still in there getting stuff together, he was in the car waiting on her. And every time he would sit in that seat, I told my husband he would look me dead in my eyes. Every time we redid it, he would look me dead. I would be his point of eye contact, and we would stare each other dead in the eye. And I was looking at him in disgust, and he was looking at me as if he was embarrassed. And it's almost like it was real, like he was really the person who done this. Like we were both in that, it was so crazy. And it's so I just went back to that day when I recorded, and just seeing him actually playing, because that's the only part that we actually got a chance to see, was the part that we were in, because for the most part they had us in the back. But when it came time for us to do our part, we seen him and his wife, Miss Bryant, coming out the store and getting in the car, and they had to keep redoing it over and over or whatever. So yes, so I'm just coming up out of this little funk from watching it. So hopefully tomorrow I have something a little bit more interesting to talk about. But like I said, I promise you all a video every day, and I'm going to give it to you. It is what it is, But anyway, thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your people to subscribe. Tell your other people and your people and your other people and your people to subscribe. And I hope you all have a marvelous day. Thanks for watching.